Divine. Okay. So welcome everybody to our monthly coaching session from Spa Professionals Guild. We have a lot of new names on today and quite a few of our community members that are already on. So it's lovely to see everybody. And we've got some people that it's first thing in the morning, others it's almost the end of our day today. So for those of you who don't know Spa Professionals Guild, I'm going to show you a few platforms to join and to follow us. Really, what we're aiming to deliver to the industry is a platform, an online platform, a global online platform called Spa Professionals Guild, where we can come together and share best practices and grow and evolve in our management systems, in our management styles, and where we can take our businesses to the next level. Because I'm sure, as you all know, business as we knew it has most definitely changed, is still continuing to change. And one of the amazing things about our industry is how much and how quickly it changes, all right? And especially with what's happened around the world in the last 18 months, I feel, I don't know if you agree with me, that the best industry to be in right now is our industry. Wellness, spa, beauty, health. That is what everybody's turning to and everybody's craving right now all around the world. So this is our Facebook page. Please join us there, where we post everything that we are doing, whether there's a new SOP that has been developed. It really is just a great platform to belong to. If you are a member of Spa Professionals Guild, because I do see that some members haven't joined here yet, so this is a members only lounge. This is also great because this is where we share when somebody needs a disclaimer, for example, or somebody needs some wording, and it's all there. So the best part is that it's stored there and it stays there for whenever you need it to go and look for it. Then on Instagram, so for those of you who love Instagram, there we are. Please look for us there, Spa Professionals Guild. And then I also have a page called Spa Business Coach Online that I would love for you to follow. And there again, you'll see all our weekly business tips that we place on that platform as well. And then, of course, our YouTube channel. So if you happen to miss a coaching session, or every single week, a little video comes out of some new, or maybe not new, maybe adapted idea. At the moment, we're about to flight a whole sales process, which is quite exciting. So just look out for that. Go and subscribe, Spa Professionals Guild, and you can also have a look there at all our weekly and monthly coaching sessions that are recorded there for you. So it really is our community of like-minded professionals. We invite you to join our community. We get together twice a month as a group, and we get to hear from exciting different speakers around the world, of which I'll tell you about one in a minute. So at the moment, we're sitting on 19 countries, which is so exciting, and we have over 80 members, and it's growing weekly, and that really is awesome, because we can see, and what's the great part is that it's growing weekly from around the globe, and it really is based on the feedback and the incredible value that our members get. What it's all about is about taking you through this process and holding your hand when we have all these hiccups, but the end goal is still there. And that's what we do, really, is we encourage each other, we crisis manage together, we look for challenges and ideas and brainstorm together. And that's really a way to reach for the stars, or to reach for the skies, okay? And also, when you have decisions to make, it's great to turn to your community and say, right, where do I go? What do I do? Who has tried this before? Has this worked for you? And so on and so on, okay? So it's a business management training portal, or a community where, no matter how long you've been in the industry, I've been a part of this wonderful industry for over 25 years, And I love to say that I am still growing and still learning every single week. Okay, so that's us. I'm going to just fast forward these, and I'm going to take you, because Michael has a lot to say. So I think I'm going to stop dawdling, and because I'm also so excited to hear what he has to say. So today, Michael, I'm just going to do a little intro because some people may not have read it. Okay. So today we have a really, as Shani put it, an illustrious speaker, okay, an illustrious guest, having held CEO positions with Miraval Resorts and Hilton and Palm Health, a past chairman of NISPA, International Spa Association, as well as executive positions with Canyon Ranch Health Resorts. Michael credits his success in building executive management teams who excel in efficiency for guests and staff. He is a global keynote speaker with more than a dozen national and international engagements annually. Currently, as we can all see, Michael is in the forest, but he is also a partner with Hutchinson Consulting, a firm at the forefront of developing innovative spa and wellness brands. He is also the founder of the nonprofit Start St. Louis. So, Michael, we're excited to hear about wellness and what's on the horizon. And you said you've got so much to say, so let's hear from you. And that's it for me.
Well, thank you very much. I'm excited to be here with the Spa Professionals Guild and you, Marissa, and for putting this together. You know, this is a wonderful time for us all to start reconnecting post-COVID. And my company builds, markets, and staffs luxury resorts around the country and sometimes around the globe. And we have our hands on so many different things, whether it's, you know, compensation for individual positions or placing people, knowing what's coming in the market because we're building projects, or, you know, what people are looking for from a consumer aspect because we also market. And so we're that one-stop shop. And because we're the one-stop shop, we have a lot of things, you know, that we have our fingers in. And, you know, now is an interesting time in spa, and probably the most interesting time in my almost 30 years in our industry, because we're reopening post-pandemic. And, you know, we have places that are still behind and significantly behind because they're just opening now, opening now or wanting to open. And then, of course, you know, we have people who have remained open. If you were in states here, like in the US, like in Florida, that never closed. And I call those spa workers frontline workers because they stayed open through it all. And certainly that had to be extremely scary. And so, you know, what I'm seeing is that we all have a steep climb. And I'm not talking about a steep climb in terms of guests, but we have a new added safety feature that we all have to be concerned about. And of course, with the quarantining that we all did and the you know, separating and now working from home and now having to come back to work, people were alone or didn't have their normal communities that they had. And because of that, they started looking at themselves individually, you know, from a perspective of mental health and mental wellness. You know, for me, it was returning to nature. And you can see I am surrounded by the trees and the birds. And during COVID, it was a wonderful reprieve for me on a daily basis, because I'm a person who is normally connecting to people. And so when I didn't have that, I needed to have something that allowed me to breathe. And, you know, I also, you know, look at what you just spoke about in the coaching. I think coaching will continue at least over the next 2 to 3 years in being very popular, only because people realized during this time that they do need other people. And so they're more open to things like coaching. I know that here in the States, they're really focused on, you know, legitimate coaching guilds and associations like the International conference or council on International Coaching Federation. People are looking for that. DE&I is very popular here in the States, but I want to talk about things that are will be relevant to everyone in the industry, no matter where you're from. And that's why this international audience is so incredible today. One of the things that I also want to say is I'm going to talk fast because I have a lot on my list today that I want to share. And some of them may be relevant to you and some of them may not. But I'm just saying that they're coming or they're out there and there are things that need to be explored or at least be aware of. The second thing is, really for the first time, I'm going to be introducing actual brand names. And I'm not saying that I support them or they are brands that I'm affiliated with or not. That has nothing to do with it. I'm giving you the brand names so that you can go out and look at what they're doing and have an idea on the internet, no matter where you're from, and go to their websites and see the products that they have or the facilities that they're building, so you have some sort of idea. The good news, and I like to start with good news, is that hotel occupancy rates and occupancies are up. They are the highest probably that they've ever been. People are traveling here in the States, and that is allowing more money into the departments, including spas. Also, travel has become hyper-local again, like it was with the last downturn of the economy. So people are choosing to drive rather than fly, partially because of COVID, partially because of the expense of flight tickets now. And so I think that the drive-to market destination will certainly be a factor in the next 3 years. The good thing about all of this is that it is allowing opportunity for the spa professionals. The difficult thing, and there are many, is that it is that steep climb. So I'm going to talk about post-COVID, what we're seeing in the industry, and then what's new in the market. So let me start with post-COVID. Nature. People returning to nature. I know that forest bathing came out years ago, but this is the first time where state parks are full. You cannot get into places where you are out in nature alone or with your family. This is a wonderful time to be outside. I think it reinvigorates the spa industry for what had sort of become a backdrop is now forefront again. And people are looking at birds and they are looking at wildlife and they're thinking about our beautiful green earth. And so they're actually taking what we've been talking about and matching that with what they're experiencing now out there in the universe and in this beautiful place that we all live in. And so nature, I think, will become a huge part of all of the components of programming in spa, and certainly in any of the destination ones. Salt, salt, salt. Salt is a natural antimicrobial. It's why hundreds of years ago, that's what they cured their fish and their meat with. That's what kept it from rotting, so to speak. But basically, salt kills everything, or it protects you from all the antimicrobials that are out there. So salt rooms, which were already hot, and sort of, if I think maybe 2 or 3 years ago might have been the tanning bed of, this decade. Well, no, now it's become the forefront. It's a must-have. And that's for 2 reasons, not just the antimicrobial, but also for the benefits that it gives us medically. And especially with people who have experienced COVID because of the lung issue and the need to breathe and the need to fix and bring back your lungs in a really positive way. Salt does that. And so the salt rooms that everybody are building, they're only going to continue to expand. People feel safe in salt rooms because of that. And so it's really going to become a must in the spa space. So if you don't have a salt room or a salt wall or a salt cave or a salt something or a salt massage, salt stone massage, get it. It's what everybody's looking for. There's no doubt about that. Another thing that was sort of on the horizon before we all went down was the talk of touchless services. I say touchless services people, when they hear that out there in our industry, they go, oh my God, it's going to replace all the massage therapists. It's going to replace all the estheticians. It is not. Nothing will ever replace human touch. We know that from the very first breath that we take, that a human picks us up and hands us to our mother, and that touch will continue throughout our entire lifetime. What I will say is that people are looking to have a little bit more safety and also get the physical pieces of spa in a touchless environment. And so, there are a number of products here that are going in the touchless realm. I did a full day at a place called Agora Wellness, Agora Wellness, and where they have I think 38 individual treatments and 3 full-time employees. So the drop to the bottom line has to be between 75 and 85%, I'm guessing, because there's no overhead. It's just the cost of the equipment. And the cost of the equipment is not very high. It could be anywhere from a few $100s to several $1,000s. But as far as I know, you can outfit probably a 4,000 square foot space with a number of modalities for well under $50,000. And so, those are becoming very popular for 2 different reasons. One is revenue. It's very difficult to get massage therapists and estheticians here in the States now. It was before COVID. It's even more difficult after. And so people are sitting on unused real estate, which it has a cost to it, whether that's heat, whether that's electricity, whether you're using a massage room for storage, you need to empty those storage rooms out and go with touchless services. I know that Palm Health in St. Louis is going that route. I know that the Carillon in Miami has gone to a full circuit. I visited there. And so if you haven't thought about the touchless services for the empty spaces that you have, you should. And it's not going to take the place of touch, but it is going to give you the same physiological benefits. I went with my business partner to Agora, and when we spent the whole day there, 2 days later, we said to each other, we're still feeling the benefits of what was supposed to be a massage. It didn't feel like a massage. We were laying on a mat. I woke up, much more relaxed than I was. And I thought, oh my God, did anything happen at all? But yet 2 days later, I was still, which is what spa is. And so the fact that there wasn't a human doing that, but my body had that experience, which is the same as I get from an incredible deep tissue or Swedish massage, speaks volumes. And so look at touchless. I talked about drive-to markets. I think that, as we're looking at the demographic of the traveler, they're all staying at this point within a 4-hour radius of their house. Most of them are going to destinations that they never thought of visiting right in their own backyard. And so taking your marketing strategy and shifting it from a more global perspective to a more local perspective is important. Now, there are destinations that are out there that don't have a drive-to market if you're an island. And so if you're an island, you need to talk about everything that supports the safety of your guests, whether that's being outdoors, whether that's not a lot of people on property, the unique experiences that you find back in nature, if you have healing waters, all of those things. So there are those who are going to destinations. I know that when we got on this call before letting everybody in, I spoke about a cruise that I'm going on shortly. And, people are like, oh my God, a cruise. Well, there's only 200 guests going to be on my cruise, but people are venturing out. And so they are thinking about getting to the islands, but it's just going to take a little bit longer. Also, in terms of professions, people are finally starting to move from job to job. During COVID and the downtime, if you had a job and you were lucky enough to continue in that role or be paid through that role or not have been let go during that role, you stayed. People were very leery about getting out of where they were when their employer was supporting them. The difference is now People are coming back. The business is very busy. We are short staffed and we're having to do lots of work. And now we're thinking, well, maybe I could move and get more money. And my recruiting firm is seeing this in scads. We have more opportunities for employment now than we've had in our entire 23 years of operating. So go to Hutchinson Consulting and look at our listing. Go to any recruiting firm and look at their listings. I think we're close. We have to be somewhere between 150 and plus job openings right now at really good money. And, you know, that is another piece that I think is important when you talk about compensation. We do a wage and salary survey every year. We did not do one in 2020 because everyone was closed, but we just did complete our 2021 wage and salary compensation survey. And there's a lot of great data that it's showing that we'll be releasing in the next few weeks. But one of them that I'm going to talk about here is SPA. And so for SPA, what we're seeing is stagnant wages to 2019. And believe it or not, that is good news. And I'll tell you why that's good news. Everyone in, let's say, the general manager positions and higher have taken a cut. And that cut has been significant. Some in the CEO level, COO level, vice president level, senior vice president levels have really brought their bar down a lot. And the primary reason for that is because the line level staff wages have come up significantly. So those of us who are in that mid tier, the directors, so to speak, the SPA managers, we've held our own, which is really important. But now companies have money. And so they're looking to say, well, how can we make more money out of our SPAs? And they're looking for experienced SPA managers, primarily because they know that they're not going to get the tons of employees or the people in the org chart that they used to have before. You may not have supervisors and assistant directors and a director. So they're looking for hands-on leaders, people who are going to come and work their tails off, and they're willing to pay for it. So I predict that this time next year, we're going to see a tremendous growth in wages in the SPA industry from those people who move. So if you're thinking about making a shift, I would think in the next 3 to 6 months, you're definitely going to want to do it because it's going to be the time to optimize your personal compensation. Other things that are hot in the industry right now, live probiotics. We're all using the sanitizers. We have for a long time. I'm a registered nurse. I am a big proponent of hand sanitizers. People don't wash their hands enough. That's how this COVID spread. That's how the flu spreads. That's how the general cold spreads. That's why when you're in the hospital, you constantly see the healthcare workers washing their hands in between every patient, in between every interaction, in between every time they touch something. And what's happened is because of the lack of time, they've had to use hand sanitizers. Hand sanitizers kill everything on your hands, okay? All the microorganisms that are on your hands, and anywhere you touch with that hand sanitizer, all the microorganisms are dead, okay? These hand sanitizers don't say, oh, this is good flora for my skin. I'm not going to kill that. It can't identify the bad flora from the good flora. Well, the good thing is that we in SPA have live probiotics. We have probiotics that we can replenish the skin with. I'm not telling you don't use your products that you've always used. I am a full proponent of that. I am saying, though, that if you're wiping and clearing off and killing all of the bad flora and good flora on your skin, you need to replenish the good flora because your skin is your largest organ. People don't think that the skin is an organ, but it is. It protects us from everything that's out there in the world. And so we have to keep our skin, now is more important to keep our skin closed from abrasions and cuts more than ever. And so if you're using hand sanitizer, and again, I'm a big proponent of that, please use a probiotic. I know that there are several probiotics out there in the industry. Almost everybody has them now. I know that one of the live ones is LaFleur. They're actually going into the medical world now because their product is really great for it. But take your hand sanitizer, use it, let your hand or wash your hands. When your hands dry, apply a live probiotic, and then apply your skincare regimen. That is going to be huge for keeping your skin healthy and protecting you from the microorganisms that are out there. Worker shortages are going to continue. It is not, everybody thought, oh, it's just going to be this year. No, it's going to continue into next year as well. So we are seeing worker shortages at least until the end of 2022. And probably not a return until mid-2023. So be prepared to work. But the shortages are going to be part of that steep climb that we all have to think about. One of the things that we're also seeing, and most of the people who are in the resort and hotel industry don't know this because it's usually behind before it actually comes about and comes to fruition, is hotel acquisitions. What originally people thought was that with everything shutting down and hotels still having to pay their mortgages without hotel rooms and pay their staff without guests coming in, that bankruptcies would be huge this summer. They weren't. When the doors opened, they were flooded with guests. And then what people did was they were smart. You know, they used revenue management, and with occupancies that were really high, they upped their rates. And so dollars became hugely flowing in. And so it made it so that hotels didn't put their properties up for sale. And so, sorry about the noise in the background. I hope it's not too loud. In Europe in particular, and in Asia right now, we are seeing movers in the development space looking to acquire. There are hotels that are coming on the market, and if they're not on the market, these developers or these development groups or capital groups are looking to buy now anyway, because they know that our occupancies are going to continue strong. And so right now, Europe is a hot market. The Caribbean is a hot market. Asia is a hot market. The US is lagging. We're sort of we put our feet into the sand. We're holding on as much as we possibly can. But I would guess that probably coming this winter and coming into the spring of next year, we're going to see more hotel acquisitions, more bankruptcies, more sales. A similar thing is actually happening with spas right now. For day spa chains here in the US and for individual independent spas, people are looking to acquire them. Capital groups are looking to acquire them. So I would see, I believe that we're going to see by this time next year a tremendous turnover. I know that I believe Hyatt just became, the largest holder of hotels in the world. They've done some very large acquisitions, and those acquisitions are going to continue. So that's where we're at. What's out there and where we're going. I know that all of you listening, and I'm sorry that I'm barely giving you a breath as I'm telling you about all these things that are popular right now. But one of the hottest things, and I'm really excited about it actually, is black skincare. Skincare for the black skin. We have, not had a huge dearth or push in the skincare market for the black industry specifically that I can remember in a way that's coming big and hot. And so it's exciting for me because I know that there have been those outliers of skincare, but I think of people like, Oprah or Halle Berry or some of these huge celebrities. And why haven't they taken the opportunity to say, who is looking after specifically my skin? Well, that person is Lauren Harvey. And for those of you who are in Africa, you know Steve Harvey from Family Feud. I know he's very popular over there. His daughter, Lauren Harvey, has just launched SKN by LH. SKN, if you go to the website, is sold out. You cannot get the product. That's how popular it is. they're going to be doing a major launch. And you know that with Steve Harvey's cash behind it, it's going to be everywhere. I predict that we're going to see a lot more black skincare come to the market. It's relevant, it is timely, and I think it will be hugely popular. If you if you're in skincare or if you're in spa, you may want to start to look at black skincare specifically, because what I think it's going to do is not only is it going to draw the consumer to the product, but it's going to draw the black consumer to our spas in ways we haven't seen before. And so look for black skincare to become a new hot trend. Male makeup. If you are on TikTok, as I am, or you follow any of those videos, I can tell you that male makeup is everywhere. I can see it on men when I go out to restaurants and bars. I can see it in videos. I can tell whether men are wearing foundation or eyeliner or tone color in so many different ways now, and I never saw that. If you'd have thought about that in spa 5 or 10 years ago, I'm not sure it would have flown. But now, with gender fluidity and everything that's going on, people realize that makeup can make you look better and ultimately make you feel better. So male makeup, which I know is very hot in Asia right now, I think we're going to see everywhere. The next piece is and this is going to shock those who are listening in from America, because, and it won't shock those of you in other countries, particularly Europe, but it is the acceptance of male nudity. So male nudity is going to be coming to the forefront. You know, the full frontal that we have all talked about for years in movies that hasn't existed, or if someone did full frontal in a movie, it became the hottest movie that everybody had to see that one part of. Well, now it's becoming a part of society here in the States. And so Hollywood, for example, in movies, has made it so that for the purposes of equality, if a woman is asked to do a scene nude with full frontal nudity of any kind, the male is expected to do it as well. That's a contractual obligation now. And so what I believe we're going to see is the acceptance of male nudity. We will see it more in spas here in the US. Of course, in Europe, it's been accepted forever, but it's and in some parts of the Caribbean, but not here in the States. And so that's going to change. We're also going to see new competitors. There are new competitors coming to market, and I'm going to give the an example from my own company, Hutchinson. We are building a number of different new projects, and those projects aren't like projects we've built in the past. They're not the destination spa with the all of the things that you think of in spa, all of the programming that you're thinking of in spa. They are program-specific retreats, okay? And I want to talk about a few of them. For example, we're building one that is specifically related to Ayurveda and Indian doshas. And so, thank God they turned that noise off in the back. So now we're back in nature. But we're building one that is indicative to LGBTQ. And all of the programming is specific to that. I know that Sensei in Hawaii just launched that's based around wellness and technology in a very significant way. And when has technology been used in any fashion that's been considered a positive in spa? And now they're actually showing how it can be a positive and how it can translate across properties. And so what you're going to see is people looking for lifestyle. Oh, and let's not forget seniors. We're going to have the largest senior communities ever. And so people in wellness communities and senior communities are looking for lifestyle communities that actually fit who they are. And so we're going to see lots of lifestyle specific retreats where the programming is geared specifically to them. Those new competitors are going to take market share. you know, sort of like Airbnb did to the hotels maybe 5 to 10 years ago. That model is also switching in that there are new Airbnb models. There's Central, and that's Sentral, and one other where people are actually leasing an apartment, and you lease an apartment in Denver. And you lease it for a year, but I only want to stay here 21 days. I'm going to transfer my lease to my apartment in Miami, and I'm going to stay there for 3 months, and then I'm going to transfer my apartment to my central apartment in Paris, and I'm going to stay there for 8 days. And so you're getting your living with experiencing the community, with being able to work at the same time, all in a contained environment where the lease moves with you. So it's sort of like Airbnb on steroids. And so I think that there'll be a lot more of those coming forward that will be two things: a competitor and an opportunity. So how can you take that opportunity and plug spa into it? What it's going to mean is it's going to be very important for the local community to touch bases with these places that are going to be having semi-local residents coming in and out who may be returning and want to be offered those spa services. And so take a look at that new, what I'm calling Airbnb on steroids. Water. So there's water shortages everywhere. Good, clean water is hard to find. And, let's face it, people are thinking about the droughts and global warming and the water shortages that really are pretty much everywhere. And if you're here in the States, California, of what day you can use your water and what day you can't. And I know this year and this summer, they actually turned off water in some of the locations where you lived. And so you had to wait till they turned it back on before you could use it again. Water is going to be coming in the spa industry. So the water circuits, the hot, the cold, the float tanks, anything where people can return to water, which is actually the returning to water that, spa was founded on. And so that's going to happen again. People will be, you always want what you can't have, right? And so they're going to want water more than anything. So over the next 5 years, I think that water growth will also just explode. So look for more water circuits, whether they're cold plunge or hot tubs or Japanese onsens, whatever it might be. Those water treatments are really going to be out there. So if you don't have a water treatment and you don't have accessibility to water where you're located, you might want to think about, what can I do in my spa that can bring a water feature into it in some way, because guests are going to be looking for that. Technology, as I said, is going to be huge. We all know the wearable devices that everybody's had, whether that's the Apple iWatch to the Whoop to, everything that's out there. I see now when I go to cities, guys and girls who are running are wearing those heart rate monitors that are, giving them everything about their fitness. People in fitness now are uber fit. I wish I grew up 20 years later, because everybody now is fit. They're thinking about, they're health conscious. They're thinking about their bodies. They want to look their best. And, I just think that that technology is going to be great over the next 2 to 3 years. Why? Because it's changing so fast. It's not just, I'm wearing this. It's going to tell you how to fix or how to improve your performance. It's going to be especially good for diabetics or type 2 diabetes and changing around insulin resistance. It's going to be great for monitoring your heart. It's going to be good for burning fat, knowing when your exercise is working for you or not. So it's not just going to be, you're going to look at your watch and get the data. It's going to send you information that says, if you do it this way, you will improve in this way. And it will give you those markers and show you those improvements. That's how specific it's getting in the tech space. And wearables are going to become part of our everyday. I have a friend who's a diabetic. He knows at any given moment what his blood sugar is just by looking at his watch. I mean, how perfect is that? Whether he's eating or whether he's not eating, whether he's stressful or whether he's relaxing, he can always check his blood sugar and know what's going on. That's how advanced technology is coming, and it's going to be coming into the spa space. Part of that in the spa space is three-sided booking platforms. And when I first heard of three-sided booking platforms, I said, what the heck is that? So I had to look it up. So if you look up what I'm going to give as an example as a two-sided booking platform, that is when someone goes online and you get a service and you take the service, and it's good for either the client or the guest, or and then that can be applied in your home, or it can be applied in your business, or it can be applied in your spa. And two examples of that or three in the States is Zeal and Soothe and Thumbtack. Okay, so you have those. Well, they were popular for a little bit. They pulled all of our massage therapists away from us temporarily, some permanently. And what it did was it made them very wealthy, but it left very little for the spas. And this three-sided booking platform system is very different because they've figured out a way to actually make those therapists their employees. And so you can choose the therapist you want to work in your facility. Your guest can choose the type of therapist they want to work on them with the skill set that they have, and they can provide it in your facility at the way that you want it provided, and it's someone else's employee. So now you have no labor. You have no performance reviews that you have to do. You have no employees that you're responsible for. So you're responsible for the guest experience and how the guest goes through that model. But the three-sided booking platform is actually the employer of the therapist. And it's really an ingenious model. The best part is the entire company was created by women and is run by women. It's all women, 100%. Techies and spa ladies. It's really great. It's by ISM. It's called Spa Space. If you haven't seen Spa Space, look it up. They have been signed by a number of major hotels in the Southeast. I think that will expand tremendously. And there is a great piece to this besides having them as your as the employer of the therapist if you are the spa. The second piece is the therapist is paid in real time. So if you're a mom and you need grocery money and you already have a full-time job and you take a part-time job working for this three-sided booking platform or any three-sided booking platform, you go and do the service, you get paid the second the service is done. Both your rate and your tip or your gratuity goes directly into, let's say, your PayPal. And so if you need grocery money, you can get it immediately by picking up an extra service. The other piece is if you're a consumer, you're able to take that what you want in a therapist and dictate, this is the type of therapist that I want. Where can I get it if I don't want to do it in my own home? And you can go to a facility and have that therapist do it, and not know that it's not a therapist for that particular hotel. So keep an eye on three-sided booking platforms. They're coming. Oh, I forgot the best part of the whole thing. They only take a small, yes, Spa Space. They only take a small percentage of the top line. So it's enough to pay for the therapist and a small percentage, but there's still profitability left in the spa and a decent amount. So keep an eye on that. Another big thing that I think is probably the biggest thing here in the States, I'm not sure if we could ever get to a point where it could become international, but it's the Interstate Compact License Portability. The Interstate Compact License Portability. So ISPA, the International Spa Association, put this program together with a number of spa leaders, not just here in the US, but some that are international spa leaders, to actually say, hey, the difficulty in finding a therapist or an esthetician or a massage therapist in your spa is because it's hard to move them from one state to another. Because when they go from New York to California, they then have to apply in the state of California and pay all the licenses in the state of California. And ultimately, the state of California has different rules than the state of New York. God forbid you're going to Hawaii, that's even more stringent rules. And so there's all of these different rules by state. And as you know, all of these different rules by country. And so this interstate compact license portability initiative will make it so that licenses can move freely across states. So if I'm a therapist in New York, I can move to Florida tomorrow and practice as a massage therapist. The process is going to take 1.5 to 2 years, but it's vital to our industry. So if you're not involved in it or not supporting it, I do think it will, make it so that internationally, after it's done and working well in the States, that it could become an international initiative. But get involved, look and see how you can help, even if it's just signing a form that says, I support this initiative for my industry. Finally, and it's the last thing that I want to talk about that's new on the market, which is not new, is CBD. And CBD has been happening in a lot of different realms. I know that people were concerned about it years ago. It was a touchy subject. Now I think it's being, universally accepted as a new treatment. But my thing about this, and this is I'm not sure how it's going to go. I'm not sure, is it going to change quick enough or have interest enough that it's going to be sustainable over the long term? I can tell you that we're moving just as fast as technology. Spa, whether it's the spa technology, whether it's the spa skincare, whether it's the now spa-specific retreats for programming, all of these things in spa are moving at a hyper speed. And the best part is they have us. They have all of you on this call. We know more than anyone that spa is resilient. We know that we have a wonderful community where not only do we physically touch people, but we touch people in ways that change their lives. I am very grateful for all of you today to be part of this, to listen to what I'm sharing today, and thrilled that you're out there representing our industry. And I couldn't be more proud of every one of you during this time. And I thank you very much for having me today. If there's any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Wow, that was amazing. I could actually continue to listen to you for another hour if you want to keep going, but that's incredible. Thank you.
I think I'm talked out.
That's absolutely incredible. So does anybody have any questions? Would anybody like to unmute and ask Michael a question? We do have a few minutes. Let's get some questions going. Okay, are you watching the chat box? Hey, Michael, there's a lot of thank yous there. I'm fascinated by this info. Open up your chat box, you'll see.
Yes, I did. Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you so much. I did want to share my email address. It's Michael, Michael at hutchinsonconsulting.com. That's HUTCHINSON consulting.com. I will take any questions there as well. I'm more than happy to answer anything personally. If you're interested in specific compensation and wages, I can share individual positions. I can't share the whole report with you, but if you say, hey, what are spa directors being paid currently, I'm more than happy to share those. So please reach out.
Absolutely awesome. Okay. Any other questions? Anybody else got any questions for Michael? I think he's given us a lot of information to absorb, but also for me, a little bit of unexpected information, actually. A little bit of the shock factor there, which I think is great. Lots to think about, lots of planning for all of us. I'm particularly fascinated about that three-sided booking platform. I've started looking it up already, fascinated by it. So it will be interesting to see how that rolls out and what kind of challenges they get, hey, Michael, because I'm sure there's going to be challenges there, don't you think?
I do. I think there's going to be challenges with a lot of these things, but the fact that we've spa in its own has dabbled in all of these things for years, whether you called it wellness then, or whether you call it wellness now, whether it's in medical, whether it's in technology, whatever area it might be, spa has really been the center of all that. And so, I like to say, before COVID, people used to worry about, am I enough? Do I have enough to be able to do all of these things that they're asking? And, I'm here to say, not only do you have enough, but you are the expert. And trust me, there are, very few people out there who work in an industry that touches so many different facets of people's lives. And so you're more than enough, and the value that you have in our industry right now is probably the highest it's ever been.
Wow, that's amazing, hey? Somebody's asking what's the name of that website. So I'm just going to put it in there. It's sparspace.com, right? The three-way booking system.
Okay.
Very interesting. Okay, everyone. So it's a wrap. Thank you, Michael. That was unbelievable. And we really do hope that you will come back and share more golden nuggets in a couple of months' time. We would love to have you back again. It would be our honor, because I'm fascinated and I'm loving all of this. Mena, are you going to say something to Michael?
Thank you so much for sharing your insights. I've also been in the industry for longer than I should remember. But thank you so much for sharing this with us all today. And really what's great is to know that South Africa isn't this little country at the bottom of the earth where we don't do things well. And that is the take home that we've got, is that we have spas with all of these beautiful things. We need to revive them, re-energize them, look at our spaces and to use them more effectively, because people want to be loved again. They want to have that contact again and have touch, but in a more meaningful way. And I thank you for that.
Yes, thank you, Mina. You're absolutely right.
Oh, lovely. Lanil, Mina was my best trainer ever in South Africa. Oh, sweet. Okay, awesome. So everyone, I wish you the most magnificent rest of your week. If your day is only starting, enjoy your day. If it's nighttime, like almost evening time for us, let's go and pour ourselves a glass of wine. Michael and Shani, enjoy your cruise. We are all very jealous on this side, but it's well deserved, I'm sure, to both of you, and just have the best time. And then don't forget, everybody, you can access the recording of this, because I'm sure some of you would like to go and hear it again. I certainly do want to make lots of more notes. You can access the recording of this on our YouTube channel. So Spa Professionals Guild YouTube channel. And then we look forward to seeing you all. We have a phenomenal guest speaker coming up next as well, who's actually going to share with us something very interesting. It's a completely different sales approach for spa. So that's quite fascinating. I don't want to give away too much. You'll have to wait to join us, but look out on our platforms for that date. It's the second week of November. He is a sales guru from the US. And actually, Mena, you're reminding me about something. Is everybody able to show video so that we can take a quick screenshot? Can we do that? Can everybody show video just to take a screenshot of today's call? Oh, look at all these beautiful faces coming up from all around the world.
I'm excited. I see people I know. It's wonderful.
Wow.
Hello, Johnny.
Oh, stunning. Lovely. Okay, everyone, show your video so that we can take a screenshot. Awesome to have so many people from all over. Hi, Janelle. So awesome to see, even from South America, you see, from Guyana. That's awesome. Totally love it. Any more people can show your video so I can take a picture? Okay, everyone, big smiles. Yes, Nicola, big smile, big smile. Gorgeous. Done. Okay, everyone, if you want to go into the chat box to put your checkout word, how do you feel after the session? Everyone, go into that chat box and put one word, just your checkout word. Oh, blessed. We are blessed, Michael, but thank you. Nicola, amazed, thrilled, grateful, inspired, excited again, amazed, educated. Yes. Oh, Daisy, it's lovely to have you on here from Mozambique. All these beautiful countries. Mena's excited, loved it. Oh, fabulous. I'm feeling totally inspired, and actually I'm feeling motivated to go and research now. All these sites and names that Michael has said. I've got like, I just want to go online now and Google. Okay, everybody, lots of love. Mwah. See you soon in 2 weeks' time. Cheers, everyone. Ciao, ciao. Bye, Michael. Have the best day.
Bye.